on. Hey.
Hi.
Hey, everybody. All right.
Cool.
Well, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. Let me see how to do that. I'm still new to this.
I'm very new.
Good. We're all new. That's great.
Keisha.
All right.
Hey, Jen's here.
Awesome. Okay. Hang on just a second. Okay. I don't know how to mute. I do not know how to mute everyone. So maybe y'all can just mute yourselves, okay?
Sure will.
Okay.
Hey, Keisha.
Hey.
Oh, I can't.
I'm not on video. I'm in the car driving.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to listen.
All right.
I'm going to mute myself now.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, everybody,
Jennifer.
I'm so happy that everybody joined us tonight because I'm excited to be introducing a new member to our team. This is our official launch party, Keisha Fuller, all the way from Georgia. And she's going to just share a little bit of her testimony tonight for what the products have already done for her so far. But then next, I'm going to be introducing two special guests we have tonight, Joan Lang and Jennifer Everhart. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time. I'd like to just open up in a word of prayer real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you so much for this opportunity to just meet with other women and other men, to reach out to them for their health and finances, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity to grow as children of you. Lord, thank you for the opportunity to work from our home and the nooks and crannies of everyday life. Thank you for the blessing of Plexus. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
Amen.
I just want to go ahead and introduce myself real quick. My name is Andrea Stutt, and I am an independent gold ambassador with Plexus. And I just want to have a little disclaimer. We are independent, and anything we share is our personal thoughts. But Plexus does not, hold on. Plexus does not claim to cure or treat any diseases. So without further ado, Keisha, do you want to say anything?
I just want to say I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be able to be a part of this tonight with these wonderful ladies, and I'm excited to hear their testimonies and what Plexus has done for them. And I'm not going to take up much time, but I've just been on it for a short period, and for the short time, I've noticed a huge difference in several things that needed to be improved. So I'm just anxious and ready to hear the other ladies' testimonies, because I'm sure they've got some great things to say and to share with us tonight. But I'm happy to be a part of this journey.
Yes, I'm excited to have you. And thank you two ladies for joining us tonight to launch Keisha's business. So, Joan, I'm just going to go ahead and just let you just take it away.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Well, I have a really crazy Plexus story. It's really long, but I'm not going to make it really long today. I have what I called a doctor visiting career, and I probably had that for about 10 years. And I probably seen every doctor, from my regular doctor, my endocrinologist, my gynecologist, my allergist, my gastrointestinal, my neurologist, and every one of those doctors gave me a prescription, which I took. You know, I mean, in the beginning it was just one pill and I added it in, and then it was another pill and I added it in, and I ended up one night looking at a handful of pills that I was taking at the end of the night, and I said, I don't want to do this anymore. There has to be a different way. There has to be. I was already in my 40s at the time, and I was all having lots of what I thought was premenopausal things, and that's what my gynecologist told me that they were, but it really wasn't. You know, the bloating, the forgetfulness, sometimes, as my kids called me, psycho mom. I was all of those things, you know, which people easily could say, oh, that's premenopausal. But when I got on the Triplex, which is my absolute favorite product, products. I mean, I like a lot of them now, but in the beginning, that's what I started on. And I just really wanted to lose what I called my premenopausal weight. I couldn't get it off. I was eating 1,500 calories a day. I was getting in my 10,000 steps. There was weeks when I was doing that, and I was on MyFitnessPal, and it kept telling me, you're not eating enough food. I know now that I wasn't really eating enough food, but my training from when I was an athlete in college was to be strict on your calories, increase your exercise, and that would be like the magic pill, and it seemed to work in my 20s and 30s and wasn't working so much in my 40s. I know now that when I started the Plexus product, I did it because I wanted initially to lose weight. I wanted to get this weight off of me, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't find any way to do it, and I had seen other friends on Facebook saying that they had done it, so I thought, well, I'm going to do it. And my journey in the beginning, I didn't lose any weight. The first couple months, I actually lost sizes. I lost inches, which was like, wait a minute, how can I be now? I started out at a size 18. I'm now down to a size 12. But to be in those different, how can I be the same weight, but in the same clothes? But my clothes were falling off me. And I was like, oh, this may be okay. I might be okay with this weight. But eventually, I did lose the weight because, like you're going to learn with all the rest of it, it's just about being consistent. When I stay consistent with the products, and I was talking with my sponsor all the time because I struggle with migraines most of my life. And anytime the product started to give me more headaches, I know now that that's die off, but I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I would back off. And she was like, no, increase your water, go add an extra half mile on your walk. And she really helped me through that process. And I'm so thankful that I listened to her. Because of that, I was able to get over milestones. I mean, I still have that every once in a while because I know with the whole detox situation, it's going to come when your body starts balancing out. So at that point, it was balancing. And then I would have symptoms. Then the next time, I was getting to the next phase, and I was balancing again. So every time I notice when symptoms come around, I know that I'm getting deeper into the tissues and getting deeper into those toxins and getting rid of them. Now, I laugh because I said I had a 10-year career of doctor visiting. And so I know I have to stay on the price. I'm almost a year now. So I'm down the other day, 40 pounds, and down now 4 sizes, but I know those things are great, but the things that really came back, and everybody talked about it, and I didn't really even pay attention. I saw those posts, I didn't pay attention, but sleeping through the night, not having night sweats. I mean, to say I don't have a hot flash, that would be a lie, but I still do. But I used to put a towel down on my bed, and I would soak through it, change out of my pajamas, take off the towel, and then be able to sleep through the rest of the night. Just being able to concentrate and stay on task and really focusing. Now, just being on the triplex alone, that helped me there. But now staying on the edge, I can work all day and doing my volunteer work at church and doing my stuff still. I still have one kid at home, still doing my work with him, and still doing, just to be able to have those things back in my life. I would take them over the weight and the dress sizes anytime. But I'm happy with the weight and the dress sizes. But having all those extra things, just not being the mean mommy anymore. I mean, that, I laugh because sometimes my husband's in the morning, he's like, I got your pink drink ready for you. Even though he takes it as well. Not having the headaches anymore. I'm off I was on 9 medications. I'm off all of them but one. I'm on my Synthroid for my thyroid condition, and I'm working with my doctor, and we've been decreasing it throughout this whole year. Now, according to this particular doctor, she says I'll never go off Synthroid because that's just the battle that I've been given. But I've been doing a lot of research, and I know other people that have come off of it, and that's my goal with her. And if it isn't with this doctor, I'm going to find myself another doctor because I just don't think I need to be on it. So basically, that's my story. You have to unmute yourself, Andrea.
Yeah, there, I got it. Thank you. That was so good to hear. And so it's been a year now. And what finally convinced you to try Plexus? Like, were you kind of like a real skeptic for a long time too, or?
I wasn't really necessary about that it was a supplement. I actually work, and I am still technically a distributor for another supplement company, and I have been with them for 27 years. But they didn't have this product. They didn't have this stuff. And the more research that I do, and the more stuff that Plexus is doing with their research teams and their stuff, it pushed me over the edge.
Yeah.
You know, it made me from one. I got rid of almost all my products from the one. You know, Plexus still doesn't have some key things like a good vitamin C, or they don't. I know they will, because they're growing and they're really building their research.
Yeah.
And that was really important to me. So I probably, just like everybody else, was on Facebook for about 6 months, watching everybody else, reviewing everything else, doing the research like everybody else. And after that point, I was like, okay, I need to find something. Something has to work. Something natural, plant-based, non-GMO, all that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So,
And
hey.
you were pleasantly surprised, right?
Yes, you know, I wasn't expecting the premenopausal stuff, or at this point, to go away, because I just thought that's natural. I'm in my 50s and early 50s now, and I just thought those things just had to exist because that's what you're told. But they don't, you know. I have a really hard time explaining that to my friends, and they're like, "Oh, well, my doctor said." I'm like, "Yeah, well, my doctor said too." Or did you read the research by this doctor? This doctor said that doesn't have to happen. But I still hit the wall with a lot of my friends saying, "Oh, it can't be just in a plant-based supplement." And I keep saying, "Well, watch me."
Yeah, yeah, watch me.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and sharing that. I appreciate you doing that.
Oh, no problem.
All right. Well, if you have to go, that's fine. But you have a good night if you do.
I want to listen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to listen to everybody else.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then our next guest is Jennifer Everhart. You want to unmute yourself?
I did.
All right, Jennifer, I'm so excited for you to share your testimony. So just take it away.
All right. Well, you'll bear with me. I do have some notes because I don't want to miss anything. I get so excited and then I get off on a little tangent and forget what I needed to say. I just want to start by saying why I started Plexus. I'm 45, and I had hit some of the same stuff Joan was talking about. And I went to my doctor and talked about hormone imbalances, and sure enough, they tested, and they're negligent or non-existent, and it's ridiculous. And so I figured that's what I needed. But it was the same kind of thing she talked about. I also struggled with being depressed, crying all the time, just so down and so discouraged. I napped every single day. It was just a thing I had to. I would wake up in the morning, and before my feet even hit the floor, it was like, oh, I can't even get out of bed. And how quickly can I get the homeschool with my girls done so I can get back in bed? Because that's what I wanted, was my nap. That's what I was looking for. I also hurt every day and was taking ibuprofen every single day regularly. And I thought, this is just not how I want to live. This is not how I should be. To me, 45 didn't seem like it was old enough that I should feel that miserable. So, like everybody else, I watched Andrea post for a while and finally reached out and asked a couple questions, and then decided, talked to my husband, and we thought, no, it's not for us, not right now. My husband has been diagnosed with a brain aneurysm, which we're treating, and that's fine. But the medical bills were already big. Adding Plexus to the mix just wasn't going to be doable. So I waited. And I watched, and I continued to watch. And then I went back to him again, crying a month later, I have to do something. And went ahead, and he said, fine, just do it. Go ahead and get it. We'll give it a month and see what happens. So let me give you just a quick, brief history on me so that you understand about my detox, because I'm going to explain that. For me, I had a very strong detox. But I was born with hip dysplasia, so I didn't have hip sockets. I was in a body cast from the waist down for several months, 6 months, I believe, after I was born, to create sockets. So my hips aren't normal. So as I've aged, arthritis has really set into my hips. I also had a bladder reconstruction, complete bladder reconstruction at 5 years old. So UTIs were my life. That's what I dealt with all the time. In fact, they put me on prophylactic medication, antibiotics from that young age all the way up for at least a good 10, 12 years that I took prophylactic antibiotics. So you can imagine my gut had nothing good to it whatsoever. I had been dealing with all this stuff for, the majority of my life. That's my basic background, to understand that. Because a lot of times when people deal with die-off, when they start Plexus, when they start the Triplex, if there's something that has been an issue in your life before, if you've struggled maybe with migraines, or you've struggled with urinary tract infections or things like that, that will be a way that you'll notice your detox coming back. So sure enough, I started Triplex, and the first 4 weeks were nightmarish. In fact, I remember telling Andrea, and this is horrible, but I remember saying, if I had any idea I would feel like this, I never would have started. It was awful. And I didn't really understand what I was going through. Looking back on it, I know I didn't. And in fact, I got a really, really bad, yet unusual urinary tract infection. And it was kind of, usually for my whole life, I know when one's coming, I sense it, boom, instantly get to the doctor, get my medication, I'm done. This one came, and several days I questioned, am I getting one? This is weird. Something was different about it. But I went to the doctor. Sure enough, she said, you have a full-blown urinary tract infection, gave me antibiotics. I took them and went home. 2 weeks later, I went back to the doctor who I was seeing for hormone imbalances. And she said, now I noticed here in the chart you had a UTI about 2 weeks ago. I said, I did. She goes, tell me about it. And I'm like, tell you about my UTI? What? You know what a UTI is? She goes, no, is it different? I said, well, it was actually. All right, fine. Let me just break it to you. Have you heard of Plexus? And she said, actually, I have. And she said, I've had other patients on it. They've done wonderful with it. They're very good supplements. And I'm like, you're kidding. Really? My doctor just said this? And so she said, well, that explains something. I said, I'm taking Plexus. She said, that explains something. And she said, there was staph in your UTI. She said, that's not normal. Your body is getting rid of all the stuff that's been in there, and you need to get it out of there. So just keep going, do what you're doing. I was like, yes. In fact, I got in the car and went, Andrea! And I called her right away to tell you, you're not going to believe what the doctor just said. So for me, that was the proof that I needed to just keep going, keep pushing. The good things were happening. It really was working. It wasn't just me being that person who had been so skeptical that said, this will not work for me. It was. So I continued on with it. About 6 weeks in, I had still dealt with like aches and pains, cold and flu-like symptoms, sore throats, headaches, UTIs, the whole 9 yards that you get when you're dealing with detox sometimes. And I talked with Andrea and said, how long does this happen? And she said, well, everybody's different. You never know. Why don't you throw in the X Factor? And so I did. Started the X Factor. And to me, that's going to be my favorite product. And I will tell you a little bit about my X Factor, because that is, to me, the product that helped me turn the corner. About that far in, things got significantly better. And I started realizing, one day I woke up and I thought, I don't feel so bad. This isn't so bad. And it wasn't long before I was realizing I don't need ibuprofen every day. And my kids would get up in the morning, my girls would, oh, Mom, you have a headache again, don't you? And it's like, actually, I do most days. And this time, now I don't. In fact, I had been seeing a chiropractor, and I had gone to him just a few weeks ago, and I said, I have a little bit of a headache today, maybe from the adjustment. He says, I've never heard you say that. And I went, yes, you haven't, because I don't anymore. I was able to get off my arthritis medicine completely, which was huge, because I didn't like taking it. I knew I had to take it, and it was special. You had to take Prilosec or something like that with it to protect your stomach. It was very unhealthy for you, but what do you do if you can't get up and walk every day? So I was able to get off that. I was able to get off the ibuprofen every day. I didn't have all those chronic head pains or sore heads or sore hips or sore anything. I just felt completely different. I was sleeping phenomenally better, which, by the way, when I added the Mega X, even improved better, which is great. I noticed that for me, I was a Diet Coke-aholic. I mean, like, we had stock in Diet Coke. It was always in our fridge at any given time. And if we were running low, it would be crisis mode. Somebody get over there and get it. And I haven't had one of those, and I couldn't tell you how long. I mean, I started the Triplex in July. And it's been, since then, I just walked away from it quickly because I needed to get away from that stuff, and I haven't wanted it. In fact, somebody had one the other day. I said, give me a sip. And it was nasty. I don't even desire it anymore, and it doesn't taste like it used to. And it was something I craved before. Also, for me, I had a chocolate drawer in my room. Yes, it's sad. It really was, which just probably explains the 10 pounds of weight gain with what they said was menopause. But I would go in there and sneak a little, and before I knew it, I would put handfuls in, and I couldn't help it, and it was gone. And now I can just not touch that for weeks and not even think about it. It's not something that's always in the back of your mind waiting for those cravings. So the sugar and the carbs the cravings for those have gotten significantly better. I do like coffee, but I like the taste. It's not a need anymore. It used to be the first thing I do is get up in the morning and don't even look at me until I've had my coffee. And we would go through several cups. And now I will have my Slim first with all of my good stuff. I do take my X Factor and my BioCleanse with my Slim in the morning. And I like that. And I would rather have that before I had my coffee. So I will often do that and then have my coffee at a later time. So I do still have it. I don't nap anymore. I don't even think about a nap anymore, which is kind of neat. I get through midway through the day and I'm like, oh, it's time for dinner. Hey, wait, no nap. Haven't had one. Yay. So that's a really big deal for me because that controlled my life. So to have, and here's the interesting thing for me. I just have to tell you, I did go back and have my hormones checked again to see if I thought they were all better now. They're not. That's not the problem. My body is still going through premenopause and all this stuff, but I'm fine. Your body was made to do that. It's natural. It happens. So I think that, the depression is completely gone. I don't deal with that anymore. I don't deal with any of those things that were just controlling my life anymore. I feel much more balanced, stable. I think my kids would even say I'm much more stable. So those are great things, having energy, having a better mood, not needing naps constantly, not needing to live on ibuprofen or caffeine or any of those things. Those are the huge changes for me. I will tell you, my detox was, even though it was 6 or 7 weeks long and it was miserable, was far more unusual than most people's detox is. My husband is also on the products. After watching me, he was like, at first he was a real big skeptic. Now he started looking over my shoulder to see what I was checking out and what products I was interested in. And so anyway, he began on the products, and all he had was one headache one day. So, and the customers that I've had underneath me so far, same thing. One day maybe feeling like they had a little bit of a cold, but still went to work, no big deal. So I think mine was unusual. But I often, like I said before, if you've had a really rough thing in your life that it has marked something for you, that may show up in your detox as well. So it's something to keep in mind. But anyway, just a quick little bit about X Factor, because this stuff is amazing. I started doing research, and this has been good for me because I'm bad about find somebody who's knowledgeable and just listen to them. So I'm like, Andrea, tell me something about this. Tell me something about that. You're a nurse. Tell me about this. Instead of doing all the research myself. So knowing I was going to get on here and say something, I'm also very big about not promoting anything I don't truly believe in. And so, which is why it took me about a month before I would put anything out there about Plexus, because I wanted to make sure it was real before I was going to tell my friends about it. I've never in my life promoted anything. And there's no doubt in my mind how real this stuff is. So as far as X Factor, when I looked up, Dr. Dennis Harris, which is the Plexus medical director there, has helped design this product. And so I was watching him through his information, but I didn't just use his. I went through WebMD and some information found on the New Zealand black currant that's in our X Factor. The interesting thing that I found is that we all have, and you can look this up and find it yourself, we all need essential nutrients. And an essential nutrient is something your body doesn't automatically make by itself, but something that you need to have to function. We used to get it from our food years ago, but I think everybody knows we don't get it from our food anymore. We have a lovely American diet that's, full of all kinds of stuff except essential nutrients. So we don't get these things. So there are things that we need. Another interesting fact is all vitamins have different potencies and different grades or qualities to them. That's why you can go to the store and get a very cheap vitamin. What are you getting though? Are you getting something your body can use? There's a lot of minerals and vitamins out there that your body can absorb. I know when I was looking for an iron supplement because I was very anemic, my doctor had recommended a specific one for me because most of the iron out there, most of the supplements you can buy off the shelf, your body takes it and it passes right through your system because you can't absorb it. She says, you might as well swallow a rock because you're going to get about as much out of it. So interesting thing about this is that all of the vitamins that are in here are bioavailable for your body. And what that actually means is that your body can take them, pull them apart, get them into your cells and use them as needed. It won't run right through your system. Your body can take them. So if we couldn't use them, what good would they be? So the thing that helps make them not only is the grade and the quality, what helps make them bioavailable, but the fact that we have American patented aloe that's in our vitamin. And the interesting thing about that is that it increases the bioavailability of the vitamins that are in there. Water-soluble vitamins, like your B and your C vitamins, those are increased by 304%. So if you're taking a vitamin C, a normal vitamin C, you're going to get 304%, 304% more of it than what it says. You're going to get a lot when you're taking this because the aloe helps your body take what it needs out of it and absorb it completely. The fat-soluble vitamins, which are harder to deal with, they're harder to absorb. That would be the A's, the E's, things like that. You're actually getting 369% more bioavailability on those because of the aloe that we have in this vitamin. So hands down, honestly, this is the best vitamin there is out on the market. There's nothing that's made better. They've made a very big point of trying to make it something that was that good, that can be promoted that way. We also have New Zealand blackcurrant extract in our vitamin, and that is an incredible antioxidant. It fights the free radicals that cause inflammation in our bodies. It's a great source of vitamin B, E, copper, potassium, omega-3 fatty acids, so many things that we really need. And I looked this up also on WebMD. It fights inflammation. Excuse me. Fights inflammation. It fights the problems that we deal with as women with PMS. It helps with Alzheimer's problems, menopause. There's benefits to the immune system. If you're looking at different ones, some of them were explaining that it helps fight, I love this, the flu virus. We're coming up on flu season, so take your X factor, don't get the flu. Obviously, it's not a perfect cure for the flu, but it does help prevent because it keeps our immune system functioning more properly than, more properly than it was before. So anyway, there's a lot of things that when you look up New Zealand, I don't know why I was saying New England, New Zealand black currant, you'll find that there's a lot of things, a lot of benefits that come from using that. Better circulation, eyesight, all kinds of things. So it has been good for me, and I appreciate the opportunity to tell you about it because it's given me a lot of information about this vitamin and helps me feel even more confident, not just what it did for me and how it made me feel and how I know it changed things, but now I know why, which is really, really cool. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was so good. Both of y'all, just thank you for your personal testimonies and just sharing just what Plexus has already done for both of you. And because you've only been on the product since July, right? You can unmute yourself.
Yes, only since July 9th. So it's only been about 4.5 months and totally different life. Can't wait till I'm on it as long as Joan. I'm going to be like,
crazy Plexus lady. Yes. Okay. Well, I'm just going to share just a little bit about the business side of things because I could not leave that out. I don't know what all of our stories are so far, but I will just say that I came into Plexus not looking for a business opportunity at all. I was basically just desperate to feel well. A lot of the ways that both of y'all have described feeling was essentially was part of my health testimony too. But I am a homeschool mom of 7 boys, and I am a registered nurse, but I stay home and I homeschool and just wrangle boys all day. That's pretty much what I do. And so I was not looking for a job and I've never done any kind of multi-level or network marketing ever. I've always been someone who said, if I find something that I really believe in or is changing my life in some way, I'll tell people about it. And so I naturally will do that, and so when I came to Plexus out of desperation, I knew that our budget at the time, I didn't honestly, just like a lot of people, I thought Plexus was really expensive on the front end. And I just thought, we can't afford it. Now, in hindsight, I can tell everybody listening, and y'all spread the word, if you really look into quality supplements, Plexus is not expensive, okay? Look at quality probiotics. Ours is very different anyway. Plexus is not expensive. But, on the front end, I thought this is too expensive. And so we agreed after a few months of being on the products, if I needed to continue, if they worked for me, I needed to get at least my products covered. That was the plan. And so, but I will, most people will tell you, to get your triplex covered, you need roughly 3 to 5 people to order through you. So I thought, well, if it works, I could probably get 3 to 5 people. I have 3 to 5 friends and family that would want to do this with me. So I wasn't worried about that, but I knew I didn't want to run a business. I told Dory, my sponsor, there's no way I have time to run a business. I said, I have 7 boys and I barely have time to eat. That's what I told her. And so anyway, I was amazed though, 3 weeks in to the triplex, I had noticeable results to the point where I had to do a post on Facebook. I couldn't even help myself. I was like, if I feel this good after 3 weeks, I feel better than I felt in years at 3 weeks. That's honestly. And so I thought, I have to share this on Facebook. I cannot keep it to myself. Well, anyway, I'll leave it short, but just by that one post that I posted, I was silver in 10 days with my products covered in 10 days. Okay. I ranked up to gold in 4 months. And so, I know that everybody, does it differently, and it's different. Everybody's journey is different. But the point is, if the business can work for me with a homeschooling family and not very much free time, I really do believe it can work for anybody that just puts their mind to it, you know. And everybody's got their circle of influence, even people that are introverted, that don't have a ton of social friends, you know, they're at home a lot. You would be surprised at the introverts within Plexus that are doing really, really well. And so anyway, I would just encourage anybody, if you're curious about the compensation plan, message any of us and we can send you the details. If you want to look up the Plexus income chart online, like Google Plexus income chart, you will see what kind of money you have the ability to make. It is really a unique opportunity. And so I just encourage everybody, if you're wanting to get on the products and you think you can't afford it, just get your products covered. At least do that. It's very doable. And so anyway, that's just a little of my business testimony. And we actually have 8 minutes left. So let's just go ahead and use this time for some question and answer. So y'all just unmute yourselves, or if I can do it. Yeah. Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
So does anybody have any questions at all? Any thoughts? Let's see. All right. Keisha, do you have any thoughts?
I'm just listening and taking everything in.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to have one little tidbit that caught me by surprise. I've been in a few other companies before, but the willingness and the cooperation from all the other ambassadors was really surprised me. When I actually went to convention. I met people there that still talk to me today, trying to help me. I don't even know these people. And at first I was like, whoa, I don't, thank you for meeting you. But they encourage me, they help me. If I ever have a question about anything, there's that ambassador website or Facebook page, and people put out questions. I don't think I could have done this on my own. I don't want to say I wasn't smart enough, but even having the welcome package, it didn't make a lot of sense to me at first. And just having other women and man ambassadors explain it and say how they do it, that part has been wonderful, So from the business part of that, and then even just having medical questions about my autoimmune disease, and I can ask questions, and other women or other men went out there and helped me, where when I went back and looked up and researched it, most people have given really great tips and health advice. I've been really pleased with that part of Plexus.
That's awesome. Well, we have a motto. It's one Plexus. And so I think that it really has, it rings true. Because like Joan, you're not even on our team at all.
No. And last week, I know that I was in Denver, but when I was there, I had met a woman at convention, and she was giving her opportunity meeting, but at a facility. And I said, I'm going to stop by. And same thing. She said, well, could you talk for me? And so, yes. I mean, I don't know these women. I didn't know, but it was nice to meet up with them and then learn from them, because they've been doing this 3 years, so they're a little bit farther in it than us. Yeah. And it was just wonderful to learn from them. And still today, someone gave me a little heads up. Hey, you asked that question. I researched for you. And I was like, wow, they researched it for me. I didn't even have time to do it myself because I just landed this morning. But just having all of that there. Now, I did attend a meeting with Celeste, and she had said that we are one Plexus, and this is the reason why. And because I'm not from a financial world, she said, when they break out that compensation plan and you make money per point, per PV, everybody makes that same value. So if we all help each other and the value goes up larger, then our PV is larger, our income is larger. So even though we're not on the same team, we are one Plexus. And if we all grow, then we grow financially because of that. And that made me think a little bit differently from that.
Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, I knew that too. I learned that. And to me, it's just really genius, to be honest, because it really eliminates the competition aspect.
Yes. That
I think could happen and may happen in other network marketing companies. So I think that it was very, very smart.
Yeah,
Smart.
because I know other people have jewels that help them. Now, my line, I don't have a jewel in my line. The first jewel is Celeste Gwynn. I mean, and she's 7 people from me, so I don't have a lot of people that we can get great training from.
Yeah.
So it's been great. That's why I like getting on other people's teams and hear what they have to say and how they are doing it. So, and everybody's so welcoming. No one said, no, don't come.
Yeah. Everybody, well, because we really all do. I mean, I believe we all do care. And that was one of my, I went to leaders retreat, and one of my husband went, you know, he's new to all this. And one of his observations, just getting to meet, you know, we have some other men on our team and a pastor and healthcare workers, just people from all walks of life, teachers. And, you know, he spent time with them and just had conversations. And one of the things he said was, I can tell these people really care about helping people. Like, it's obvious. They're in this to help people. And it really, you know, it made an impression on him. And so I just pray that people, we can like eradicate the anti-MLM person.
Yes.
I really hope that, because I really do think Plexus is unique in that way. So thank you. So we have about 3 minutes left. Keisha, do you have anything? What about, is your sister here? Where is she?
She was. I'm not sure where she's at now or if she's still on, but she was. She was joined in.
Yeah. Well, I don't want anybody to feel pressure. Hey, yes. Hello.
Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can't see anything. I can hear.
I'm not sure how to do this.
Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you. Who is this? I don't see your name.
That's Lynn.
I'm Lynn.
Oh, hi, Lynn.
You've got to turn a video on, I believe.
Yeah, there's no video. I don't see a video. Go ahead. Do you have a question?
Well, I don't know. I'm just listening in, really. I love the product so far. I think Keisha and I have talked about, you know, what I need to do from here on, you know, next. I feel like I'm kind of stuck, you know, I'm not making any progress, really. I feel really good, but I'm not making any progress as far. I want to do the weight loss. I want more weight loss. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Sure, yeah. And Jennifer Everhart,
Yes.
we got 1 minute and 40 seconds before it ends. Go ahead and share a little bit about your weight.
I will just say that at the beginning and for that first couple of months, I actually gained rather than lost. And I think it was just my body's way of detoxing. After that, I've lost now about 7 pounds, and it's staying off, consistently staying off. So there's really, you know, it's nice. I think it's on the downward spike again. So it does come, but I think detox sometimes takes a little while because your body has so much to get rid of before it's ready to drop the weight.
Yeah. Well, so we had decided to go back to, I think, do another round of the triplex. So I'm looking forward to getting that.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but I love it. I love it.
Good. Well, all right. Well, I'm going to wrap up this call unless anybody has.
I just want to say thank you so much for Jennifer sharing her testimony and what Plexus has done for her. And she has gained a lot of knowledge, and she was very informative. And I really appreciate her. And Joan?
Yes.
Thank you, Joan, so much.
Yeah, sure.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.